Pamela, you're the main person behind Fish Fest. Tell us all about it.
Okay, well, Fish Fest, this is the 5th year it's been going on. It covers the 4 main fishing ports in County Down, and we kick off this weekend in Portavogie on the 5th and 6th, and then the following weekend we move to Annalong, and that runs from the 10th to the 12th, and then we're down to Ardglass, that's the 18th to the 20th, and finally we tie up in Kilkeel on the 26th to the 28th, so the Bank Holiday Monday is the last day of the festival.
Malcolm, tell us about your involvement in Fish Fest.
Northern Ireland Seafood are heavily involved in Fish Fest and have been since its first event. Our involvement this year was to try and lift the culinary event, if you like, a little bit further, because fish is fresh, there's a short supply chain, and we have to harness that and the value of that. In the ports themselves, it was our idea to bring the fest more to Belfast, because there are more people in Belfast, obviously, and there's a danger if you're too parochial that people that are in cities eat what they eat but tend not to think about where it comes from.
What kind of things have you got to celebrate Fish Fest? What's happening? What events have you got happening?
We've lots of things going on. We have seafood cookery demonstrations like we have today at the launch, and we have seafood buffets. There's taster sessions. We've fish filleting competitions. We've most fanciable fishermen in Portavogie tomorrow for all those ladies who are looking for a man. We've lots of children's activities, craft activities going on. So there's lots of things for the family and for all ages. We've live music. So really there's a good atmosphere, there's lots of things. You can come down to the port, you enjoy the atmosphere. We'll be down beside Portavogie Harbour tomorrow and all the other ports after that.
When the guys are out there catching the fish, how long does it take from actually catching it in the sea to actually getting it down there and into the restaurants and stuff?
It depends on the boats, but you actually could, we have what they call day boats. Boats that go out in the morning and come back in the evening, or go out in the evening and come in early the next morning. So in theory you could have it caught, landed in the morning and in a restaurant by lunchtime. And literally that is the case, and quite, you know, the local fishmongers, for example, still do that. Yeah. They're on the quayside, buy their fish 7 o'clock in the morning, back to Belfast, back to wherever. And again, another reason for bringing it to Belfast and lifting the culinary experience. How fresh can it get?
Yeah. Seafood is very sexy. It's the next big thing in terms of food, and we're growing. And I mean, gone are the days of the boil in the bag cod that you were forced upon when you were a child. We've got really a lot of, as you can see here, a whole range of different fishes, and the chefs are doing some really exciting things. And all the restaurants will be putting on special menus during the festival, and people can come around and taste the different types of fish in our gourmet seafood trail.
What's the most popular fish in Northern Ireland?
In terms of popularity, we'd probably still, our cod is still a big product for various reasons. It's served as a meal, it's served as a fast food product. Not all of it's now caught here. An awful lot of the cod is imported. The biggest part of our industry now is the nephrops, or the prawn, or the langoustine, that family, because due to environmental pressure, some might say, you know, cod have moved north because the water's colder. They're a predator of the prawn, so the prawn numbers have grown. So prawns are our single biggest part of the industry in terms of value added.
Francis, tell me, what's your involvement in Fish Fest?
Well, my involvement is I happen to be the owner of the Quays, and Davy that's doing the show here now, he's my main chef, and we've all contributed, all the chefs, contributed most of this week now to getting all this food ready here, and then we're doing a seafood fest on our own premises and in the area tomorrow.
I'm fascinated by all these little fishies here. Tell me about some of them. So starting off that big one there, that looks like something that's been squashed by a lorry on the motorway or something.
Yes, it has his eyes well set for it. This is a monkfish, you can see and the unfortunate thing, well, it's not the unfortunate thing, but most of this fish is not used. It's only this portion used. No, it is.
Okay.
And this is one.
He's still got his little things tied together. See that? Is that because he was still alive when he came in here?
No, this one's already cooked.
Oh, right,
so
okay.
it is. It's this one that's alive.
Oh my
as
God.
you like to see.
Oh.
See?
Oh my God.
That's friendly. Don't worry.
Oh.
And by the colour.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that. Oh my God. So where would he have been caught then?
He would have been caught, I would say, no more than half a mile off our restaurant. We can actually see the boat catching them. We can watch them coming into the harbour and pick up the product straight from the boat. this would be your like your eel type. So there's, as you can see here, these crabs are caught the same way as the lobster, and they would come in as the same version. And you can see this one's still quite lively. This one's your sole. This is just a flat fish upside down. You know, this is, you know, you can see the eyes here, so you can.
Oh, he's dying to nip that one. Look at that.
Yeah, yeah. And this is known as your dogfish. This would be your shark family.
It looks like a shark. Yeah.
Yeah. As you can see, this would be your shark family, and it's quite a good resemblance, hasn't it?
It has,
Yeah, yeah.
Are you a big fish and seafood fan?
Oh yes, yes I do. I mean monkfish. I mean it's not looking too good there, but when it's cooked on a plate, it's very tantalising. It's not the most good-looking fish. Maybe that's what we'll run a competition during the festival. But no, I love seafood, and it's healthy.
Fish is healthy, it's good for us, it's very good for children in terms of concentration. The oily fish, the omega-3, we all know about that, it's good for your heart.
What's your favourite types of fish?
Oh, probably monkfish would be one of my favourites. I like prawns. I do like a bit of fresh haddock or mackerel. They would be my favourites.
What about oysters and things? Be loads of those floating about?
Yes, we'll have fresh oysters at all of the festivals, and we have a competition to see who can eat the 6 oysters in the fastest time. So that's always a bit of crack. We don't do it like Hillsborough. We do fastest eat six oysters. So even if you've never done it before, you can come along and have a go.
The seafood becoming more popular here.
Yep, fresh seafood in particular. The growth and consumption used to be in frozen. You know, we've all eaten our frozen fish fingers and our frozen haddock fillets, etc. Consumption is now in fresh, perhaps helped by events like this, particularly the ones on television, the Ready Steady Cooks and all that. But there are, you know, people are now taking more holidays. EasyJet and the cheap airlines have opened the world, so you sample fish somewhere else, you come home, you want to eat it here, but you're scared to cook it yourself, so the next best place is a restaurant. So there's a growth in fresh, but there's also a demand starting to increase for fish, maybe due to our habits and our holidaying.
This is the famous Nick from Nick's Warehouse. Tell us about your involvement in Fish Fest this year.
Well, they rang me up and said, "Are you doing it?" And I said, "All right then," and away we went, basically.
All right, so Nick's seems to be going from strength to strength every year. It gets more and more popular, doesn't it?
Well, we hope so. I mean, our cathedral quarter is really, you know, starting to come alive. It's only been 17 years, you know, hence the grey hair. But, you know, seafood is something that I feel very strongly about, and we have such wonderful stuff around us that, you know, we obviously use a lot of it at work and try and encourage our customers to eat well, you know.
All right, and where are the best places to get your seafood brought in from?
Well, we would get as much local stuff as we possibly can. Sometimes, obviously, when there's rough weather, it's a challenge, and you have to go for the more exotic stuff, or the inevitable sea bass or something like that. But mostly, we're fairly lucky with what we can get, you know.
All right, and what's the most popular fishes and seafood on your menu at the minute?
Well, that's a very difficult one. I mean, we always have 3 different kinds of fish on the menu. So, I mean, I think hake would be a very popular one, and that would be a lot of that would be locally caught. You know, people enjoy that the texture of it.
All right, what about your background way before Nick's? How did you start off in the business?
Longer ago than you care to remember, or I care to remember. But no, we had another restaurant down in the country near Clinchy, and then we also ran a pub down in Clinchy as well called Daft Eddie's on the sea, and one of the few pubs in Ireland on an island, and that was on Strangford, so we always had access to lots of lovely big prawns and all that sort of stuff, you know.